What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about social justice warriors going after Ready Player One. Now, why would they go after Ready Player One? Probably because Ready Player One is the latest thing they can go after. There's no rhyme and reason to these people, so trying to find logic in anything they do is it's like finding a needle in a haystack. But it's clearly going to be the number one film of the weekend, and so that is an opportunity for social justice warriors to pounce and to try to put their poison in anything that has any kind of relevance. That's what they live for. So this is from The Root, a website that I'm not familiar with, but I'm sure that's only because I'm not woke enough to understand the wokeness on theroot.com. Headline. This isn't a racist headline at all. There's no way this is a racist headline. I'm just telling you up front, there's no way. Ready Player One and the unbearable whiteness of 80s nostalgia. Yes, that is the headline. Could you imagine someone writing an article of, I don't know, the NBA and the unbearable blackness of the 1990s? Like, no. That would not happen because anybody that wrote it would be destroyed, rightfully so. I grew up in the 1980s and 90s. Michael Jordan was my hero. So was Magic Johnson, Hakeem Olajuwon. I didn't give a shit about Larry Bird. I made fun of Larry Bird's short shorts. Larry Bird's an all-time great, and I have nothing but respect for him. But growing up, at no point in my life did I say, there's too many black people on the NBA court. I need more white representation. No, I needed good players to do what they do best. And I got plenty of that in the 1990s from the NBA, and I'm happy as hell for it. As long as people are good at their job, I don't give a shit what color you are. Just be good at your job. And there's a reason why the NBA players are predominantly black, because white people aren't that good. And I played basketball in high school. I was a decent basketball player, but white people just ain't that good, and that's fine. But this is nonsense right here. So let's get into this article a little bit. Steven Spielberg is the stunt king of Hollywood. He might be the only American director who could create Ready Player One, a film that is literally an homage to Spielberg's own work in the 1980s. I would agree with that. Ready Player One is all about the adventure of a working-class Midwestern white teen boy who saves the world. White teen boy. The same setup as E.T., The Goonies, and Gremlins. Genre-defining hits by Steven Spielberg. Now, so this guy, Jason Johnson, he literally sat down in a movie theater and he started from the beginning of trying to pick apart race and gender. He didn't go to enjoy a movie. He didn't go to be entertained. He went to pick apart the demographics of the racial makeup of the film and the gender makeup of the film. How the hell does anybody live life like that? How do you get happiness by thinking about race and gender in every aspect of life? I will never understand that. But that's what he did. He went to specifically break down the racial and the gender breakdown. Unbelievable. And I think it's funny because he's complaining that it's an homage to Spielberg's own work of the 80s. Then he claims that it's a white teen boy, and then he points out that those are the same setups as Spielberg movies from the 80s. But you've already said it's an homage to the 80s, and you're admitting that those 80s films had white teen boys. So why is this a problem that this movie has a white teen boy? I don't understand the logic here. In this modern take on Spielberg's films of old, Ready Player One is essentially Willy Wonka meets The Matrix with a splash of Wreck-It Ralph, with flawless action scenes and special effects that rival each of those films in their heyday. I agree 100% with that particular excerpt of his article. Here's where we go way off the track. Unfortunately, Ready Player One is also disturbingly brazen and comfortable in its erasure of women and black folks from 80s pop culture. it it has. I'm not going to tell you everything about the movie, but it. Oh my God! How do you live like this? How is this your life where all you want to do is play the victim? Unbelievable. If this were simply a Ready Player One problem, it would be understandable. However, increasingly through movies and television, the 1980s are being rewritten in real time, erasing diversity of the time and replacing it with unshakable white gaze. Ugh. Ugh. Or just, wow. I mean, so you've, again, let's back up. So you've admitted that it's an homage. It's literally an homage to Spielberg's own work of the 1980s. And then you say Rogue One, Ready Player One is all about the adventure of a working class Midwestern white teen boy, because you have to point out race and gender, who saves the world. The same setup as E.T., The Goonies, and Gremlins. So if it's literally an homage to his own work, and then you point out that his own work had a white teen boy who saves the world, what's the problem? What's the problem? Now, I mean, he goes deeper into this, and he mentions how, I guess they didn't have, like Winston from the Ghostbusters and whatever else. Again, like, if that's what you choose to do, is go into every movie and look for the racial inequalities or the gender inequalities that in your mind, and you're trying to look for these things, you're going to find them in any film. What's the problem? Did you do this with Black Panther? Because you know what I did is because I said that there was a token white guy in the movie and I thought it was stupid. Like, Black Panther was a great film. I really enjoyed it. And it didn't bother me at all that it was predominantly black, because it was a good movie made by a really good filmmaker, and it complemented the MCU in every aspect as far as I was concerned. And I'm sure that's my white privilege talking. I'm sure that that's just because I'm white and I never had to grow up with all the problems that apparently everyone else did, even though you don't know my life. And even though you don't know anything that I've been through, you look at the color of my skin and you just assume I've never had anything bad happen to me. That is horse shit. But I wish it was true. I wish I could sit here and tell you I've had a wonderful life of privilege. I wouldn't have worked retail for shitty paychecks for like 20 years if that was the case, but whatever. So anyway, another social justice warrior, another victim card, another person that sits down and watches a movie simply through the lenses of race and gender. And we should point, we should laugh, and we should make sure that we go out and see Ready Player One and support it because it's a good film. Not because of the race or gender breakdown in it, because it's a really good film. That's why you should go see it. And just in spite of Jason Johnson, you should just go see Ready Player One. Then you should tweet him and say, hey, I went and watched Ready Player One because of your social justice warrior article, and you are an idiot. That would be the perfect way to handle this. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later.